There was a man who worked hard, slept little, and worried constantly. From the outside, his life looked stable. A job, a routine, familiar streets, familiar faces. But inside, something felt off. Every night as the world quieted down, his mind grew louder. Thoughts circled endlessly. What if things go wrong? What if I'm not good enough? What if I lose what I've built? He didn't choose these thoughts. They appeared on their own. And slowly, without realizing it, they began shaping his life. Opportunities slipped past him. Confidence weakened. Health felt fragile. Peace felt distant. Not because life was cruel, but because his inner world was restless. He believed he was thinking. In truth, he was being thought. And this is where the story truly begins. Long before this man, long before modern cities and glowing screens, people had noticed something strange. Two people could face the same situation. One would rise, the other would fall. Same intelligence, same background, same effort, yet wildly different outcomes. The difference wasn't luck. It wasn't talent. It was something quieter, something unseen. A hidden force working beneath awareness. The subconscious mind. A part of us that never sleeps, never argues, never questions. It simply accepts and acts. Every word repeated, every belief rehearsed, every emotion felt deeply. The subconscious does not judge truth from fiction. It builds reality based on what it receives most often. The man did not know this. He believed his worries were harmless, that his fears were practical, that his doubts were realistic. But each night, as he replayed them, he was giving instructions, and the subconscious listened. One evening, exhausted from another day of quiet frustration, he stumbled upon an old book. Its pages were worn, its language simple, its message unsettling. It spoke of a power within, a mind beneath the mind, a force that shapes health, wealth, relationships, and peace. Not through effort, but through belief. The man scoffed at first. Surely life wasn't that simple. But something about the idea lingered. What if the problem wasn't the world outside, but the thoughts repeated inside? That night, instead of worrying, he tried something different. Not affirmations shouted into the dark, not forced optimism, just a quiet sentence, repeated gently. Things are working out for me. He didn't fully believe it, but he repeated it anyway, slowly, calmly, without argument. And something subtle happened. His breathing softened. His body relaxed. For the first time in weeks, sleep came easily. Days passed. Nothing dramatic changed, but small things felt lighter. He noticed his reactions shifting. Where he once tensed, he now paused. Where he once feared, he now observed. The book explained why. The subconscious mind accepts repetition as truth, not logic, not evidence. Repetition. A thought repeated with emotion becomes belief. A belief becomes behavior. Behavior becomes habit. Habit becomes life. The man realized something unsettling. For years he had been repeating the same inner dialogue. I'm unlucky. Things never work out. I always struggle. He had rehearsed failure so well that his mind produced it effortlessly. No wonder change felt impossible. He began to experiment, not with force, but with gentleness. Instead of fighting negative thoughts, he replaced them. When fear appeared, he responded calmly, "My mind is at peace." When doubt whispered, he answered softly, "I trust the process of life." He didn't argue with his fears. He didn't suppress them. He simply stopped feeding them. The subconscious, like fertile soil, grew whatever was planted. And for the first time, he planted differently. Weeks turned into months. Changes emerged quietly. A conversation went better than expected. A decision felt clearer. A lingering health issue eased. Not miracles, momentum. The book warned him not to rush. The subconscious works gradually like water shaping stone. Impatience would only revive old habits. So he continued. Each night before sleep, when the subconscious is most open, he imagined outcomes he desired. Not vividly, not forcefully, just calmly, as if they were already unfolding. Peaceful days, confident conversations, steady progress, and his body responded. Muscles relaxed, sleep deepened, mornings felt lighter. One chapter spoke of healing. Not dramatic cures, but alignment. The subconscious governs the body. Every cell listens. When fear dominates, the body tightens. When belief softens, the body responds. He stopped viewing health as a battle. Instead, he approached it with trust. My body knows how to heal. Again. No force. No pressure. Just repetition. And slowly, symptoms that once worried him lost their grip. Another chapter spoke of prosperity. Not money as obsession, but as flow. The subconscious does not respond to desperation. It responds to expectation. Those who believe struggle is permanent create resistance. Those who expect opportunity notice it. He stopped thinking of money as something scarce. He began viewing it as movement. Ideas felt clearer. Confidence grew. He didn't suddenly become wealthy, but he stopped sabotaging himself, which he realized was the first form of wealth. The book returned again and again to one idea. The subconscious does not work by effort. It works by acceptance. When the conscious mind relaxes, the subconscious begins creating. This is why fear blocks progress. Fear tightens the mind. Faith, calm expectation, opens it. The man finally understood. His past struggles weren't punishment. They were programming, and programming could be changed. Years later, the man looked back. Not at a perfect life, but a peaceful one. Problems still appeared. Challenges still came. But they no longer controlled him. He trusted his inner world. He chose his thoughts carefully. He spoke kindly to himself. He rested instead of resisted. And life reflected that shift. The book had not given him magic. It had given him awareness, the most powerful tool of all. Because the truth is simple. Your subconscious is always listening. To what you repeat, to what you expect, to what you quietly accept as true. It builds accordingly, and once you understand this, you realize something profound. You are not fighting life. You are shaping it from the inside out. If this story resonated with you, if it felt familiar, if it stirred something quiet inside, You'll find the full audiobook and reading links in the description below. And if you enjoy calm, story-driven wisdom that stays with you long after listening, consider subscribing to Think Audio. New stories arrive here,